Hey there, 5th grade percussion. I hope that you guys are doing really well. So this is your second video specifically for snare drum. All the other videos that I've done for 5th grade, you can play along with all of them on either snare drum or mallets. I recommend more with mallets for those other videos, but you definitely can still do snare drum. But you just have to use the pages from the Measures of Success book, and I posted all those pages on Schoology, and I think I've emailed them to all of you. So you definitely have access to all those pages for the regular videos, but this will be your second one just for snare drum. All right, so guys, we're going to continue the rudiments that we worked on last week, and we're going to go to the next page in your Alfred Drum Method book. All right, so make sure that you have your drum pad, or if you have a snare drum at home, your snare drum out, ready to go. All right, and yeah, let's get started. So first thing, check your grip. All right, remember, right where your finger bends, the joints. All right, that's kind of where it's going to sit, and your thumb needs to be on the drumstick, thumb on the drumstick. These fingers all curved around. We don't want any pinkies out. We're not drinking tea while we're playing drums here. These fingers curled, right, the back of the hand to the ceiling. Remember, if I put a quarter there, we don't want it to fall off, all right? And it's really your thumb and your pointer finger that are going to really control the stick. You should be able to have your stick just come up and bounce off the palm of your hand, all right? Also, we want in the back of your stick, like 3 or 4 fingers to be able to go on there. Make sure you don't come too far down on your stick. Also, make sure you don't come up too high. I know some of you 5th graders enjoy coming up way too high in your mallets when you're playing. We got to make sure we bring them down. So some of you have drumsticks that have like a little American flag. Remember, your thumb needs to go on that American flag. Some of you also, I think we put black tape. Make sure your thumb is on that spot. All right, check your grip. Check both hands. Awesome. All right, so guys, we're going to start out with our rudiments. Let's start out with our paradiddles. Now remember, I can show you really quick. The paradiddle, a single paradiddle, that's what we're going to do right now. Single paradiddle. Now look at the music. So we're going to start right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Where are the accents? Check the accents. Here we go. Let's try it together slowly first. Say it with me. We're going to say paradiddle. Every time you say diddle, that's when your stick repeats itself. So let's go slow, starting with your right stick. Ready? And paradiddle. Alternate. Diddle. Paradiddle. 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 Okay, awesome. This time we're going to do it again, but we're going to put the accent in there. So the accent is the first hit of each group. Paradiddle, paradiddle, par. Now, with snare drum, in order to accent, you just need to lift your drumstick, the beat of the drumstick, the head of it, higher, right? It just needs to come up a little higher and drop down. The rest of the hits are closer to the drum head, right? Paradiddle, par. Now watch how I like to slowly raise it up when I'm alternating the stick. So if I go slowly, it'll be paradiddle, par. Try that at home. Par. Rise it up, hit. 2. Rise it up, hit. 2. Rise it up, rise, hit. And then we're going to try to get a little faster. All right, how about we try it together? What we're going to do is I'm going to play 4 times by myself. We're going to play 4 times together, and then you're going to play 4 times by yourself, and I'm just going to hit my stick together for the beat, okay? Paradiddle, paradiddle. How about we try that fast? Here we go. Together with the accent. 2, I'm going first, and paradiddle, paradiddle. 3, together, and by yourself, go. Good, stop right there. Awesome. I hope that you have that accent in there. That's really important. Let's try it one more time, even faster. Paradiddle, par. All right, I'm going to go first, then 4 times together, and then you're going to go by yourself. Make sure you're listening to how I'm playing it so you can match it. Here we go. Listen first. And Good. I think that was 8 times. Hopefully you kept playing. All right. Nice job, guys. Cool. So there's our paradiddle. Paradiddle. Keep working on that. It's a single paradiddle that we're working on right now. All right. Next, let's try some flams. Let me show you really quick what the music looks like for what you're playing. You guys have this in your folders, but I just want to show you one here because it's easier. Flam. That's our next rudiment that we're going to do right now. We've been working on this one for a while, and this is what it looks like in your music. Remember, we alternate our hands for this one. Let's hear some flams. One stick higher than the other, and you just drop them down and alternate. Good, let's do 4 in a row. I'll go 4 by myself, 4 together, 4 by yourself. 2, ready, and 2, 3, together. Your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, let's do it again. A little faster. I'm going first. 2, ready, and 1, 2, together. Your turn. 2. Awesome. Nice job. Cool. Make sure that it's not hitting at the same time. That's not a flam, right? Also make sure it's not like dot, dot. That's not a flam either. That's just you hitting your sticks twice, right? So we want them really close together. Go ahead and practice that. Make sure that they're hitting at the right time. And get faster. Good. Make sure, no matter if you're starting with your left stick first or your right stick first, they sound exactly the same. That's our goal. We want to make sure they all sound the same, no matter which stick is starting. All right, awesome. Keep practicing those flams. Let's do some multiple bounces. I'll show you that really quick. I don't know. Yeah, so sometimes, eventually you'll see it in your music. We haven't really seen multiple bounces too much yet. Maybe a little bit, but in our band music, right here. Multiple bounce roll. So it's got like that Z. We also sometimes call that a buzz roll. A buzz roll. All right, so let's do right stick first. As many bounces as you can get. Good. Make sure it's not just 2, it's more than 2, and just get as many as you can. Start slowly, and then get faster. And remember, these, you don't want to play super loud. If you're trying to play them really loud, it's not going to bounce that much. Just relax it, play it softer. And keep your stick really close to the drum head. Right? All right, left stick only. Do the same thing. For all of us that are not left-handed, which I think is all of us, that's the hard one, right? Let it bounce. Multiple bounce. Good. Now let's alternate hands. Go ahead. And just try to get it as clean and as even as you can, right? We want them, again, to sound the same. And that's hard because our right hand is like so much stronger than our left hand. So we need to really try to work on that left hand and get it stronger so that they can sound exactly the same. Good. Just this one we won't alternate on just because it's harder, because it's multiple bounces. So let's just go ahead. Let me go first. I'm going to do a slower roll, and then I want you to try it. All right? So let me go first. We're not counting or anything. Alternating hands. Go ahead. Try a slower roll, letting them bounce. As many as you can. Let it bounce. Let it bounce. Alternating those hands. Good. All right, now let's try it a little faster. I'm going to go first. Listen. We're going to work on getting it really clean and even. Notice how close my drumsticks are to the head of the drum. And we don't ever want it to stop. Do you hear sometimes it's like, once in a while you hear it kind of stop? We're trying to get away from that. And that means the more we practice this, the stronger that we get doing this, the less likely it is to like have it kind of stop or skip a roll in there. All right, go ahead and try it. As many as you can get in there, nice and clean and even. Alternating those hands. other thing that's pretty cool that you should try to play with is if you're on a drum pad or on a snare drum, the head of a snare drum, for both, it doesn't, like, if you hit in the center of your snare drum or your drum pad, it sounds different than when you hit on the edge, right? I want you to just play with this when you're doing these rolls. See what sounds cleaner and crisper. And that's where you always want to play these rolls. Normally, it's not in the very center. It's a little bit off the center, right? Go ahead and play with it, though, and see where the sound is best. And it's clean. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's do our double bounces now. So, right stick only, double bounce, just 1, 2. We're really controlling it. We just want 1, 2, and stop it. Remember, it's not tap, tap, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's all in the same stroke, like your arm is hitting down and is in the same motion downwards, but your stick is just bouncing twice. And then once you can do it really slowly, a bunch, then try to go a little faster. Still 2. 1, 2. Good. Now let's go to our left stick. This is the one that we all have to really work on and control. Though sometimes it's the opposite, right? I think for some of you, your left stick is pretty natural with this, and it's your right stick. Whatever you need to work on more, make sure you do that by itself. And every now and then, oh, did you hear that was a multiple bounce? So we gotta work on, I'm working on it too. We're gonna all work on making sure they're all double bounces. Good, let's alternate hands. Here we go. Good, what we'll do is I'll go first. Let me just do a few and then I'll have you go. So listen first. Slowly. Good, go ahead. Alternating hands, all double bounces. All right, good. Now, let's do it a little faster. I'll go first and then I want you to go. Whew, I gotta work on that. Did you hear how some of these were multiple bounce? That's not what we want. I'll keep working on it. All right, go ahead. Try it a little faster. Multiple bounce. Sorry, not multiple bounce. Double bounce. Double bounce. You know what to do. Good, let's do some together. And then it's always good when you're practicing these just to go back to one hand at a time. Awesome. Guys, our last rudiment for today is going to be our 5-stroke roll. This is using those double bounces. This is what the rudiment looks like. 5-stroke roll right here. So the reason it's a 5-stroke roll is you're hitting 5 times, right? So you start with your right stick. So it's going to be double bounce, and then a single tap. Double, double, single. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what you need to think in your head. Whichever of those helps you more is what you should think. Either double, double, single, and then alternate hands. Double, double, single. Or just think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and try it. And slowly get faster. Okay, let's try 4. I'll do 4. We'll do 4 together, and then you do 4 by yourself. Here we go. Here we go. And 3, 4 together. 3, turn. Awesome. Stop right there. Cool. Remember, once again, you can always go back to just double bounces one hand at a time and then put it together. And remember, we want the accent on that last hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'll keep working on mine. We just want to make sure that they don't have any multiple bounces in there. They're all double bounces. All right, I'll work on mine. You work on your rudiments. Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, let's do one of our songs out of the Alfred book. Let's go to the next page. So we left off last video. We went through page 18, lesson 6. Right? We did that one together. So how about for this one, we go on to the next page, page 19, solo number 2. All right, if there's any part of lesson 6 that you're still a little iffy on, I would suggest going back to that first snare drum video from 2 weeks ago and work on that stuff more before you go on to 19. You need to make sure that you can play that combination study with me at the end of the first lesson that I did 2 weeks ago before you go on to solo number 2, all right? But if you were able to do it, then you are ready for solo number 2 on page 19. All right? So take a look just at the first line. How about we first just focus on that first line? We don't have time to go through, line by line or anything. So we'll just focus on the first line, counting it, and then we'll go through and we'll just play through the rest of it, okay? So take a look at the very beginning. Can we try counting this together? So we're going to count the rhythm. Right, so it always starts with 1. These are 8th notes at the beginning of solo number 2. All right, so I'm going to give you the beat. Let's do it nice and slow. Can you say the counting with me? All right, let's just do the first 2 measures only. Here we go. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 4. Okay, remember, when it's a rest, this is like our downbeat, right? This is the downbeat, and this is the upbeat when my stick's in the air. So it's like, look at measure 2. So it's 1. 1's the rest, but the and is in the air, right? So it's and 4. It gets really complicated when you get to all this offbeat stuff. And this is the syncopation word that we had talked about before school got out, right? So syncopation, it's so important and so key for percussionists. So take a look at the beginning again. Can you count that with me? I'm just going to count the first 2 measures with you, and then I want you to count the rest by yourself, all right? I might jump in there a little bit at some point, but just the first line. All right, here we go. Say it with me, beginning 2, ready, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 4. You say it. Rest. And 4 and 4 and 4 and. Good. Hey guys, what is that right there? At the end of this line. So this is the one we're working on. Solo number 2, right here. What does that mean to do? That is a 1 measure repeat. So right here you've got it first. So that means when you're coming along, you play this measure, you get to this one, you're going to repeat this measure again. We play that again, then you get to this one, and this one's telling you repeat it one more time. So you actually play this exact measure 3 times in a row. And then after that, you go down to the next line. Okay? All right. You guys ready? If you would like to pause the video and go through count more of it, I highly recommend it. It's so important for percussionists to be able to count. Always, always to know your counting and know your rhythms and what rhythms you're on. All right, it's key. Also, let's take a look at dynamics. So yeah, if you want to pause the video, go through your counting for any of it, do that. Also, if you want to go through and work on little tiny chunks, always, always do that. It's so important. That's how we're going to get better and learn longer pieces of music like this. You got to break them down into little chunks. So I recommend how you should practice this. Go ahead and play it with me right now. All right, go through it. Then, after we finish, stop the video, go back, work on little tiny chunks that you were messing up on, or you were like, oh no, I think I got lost here, right? Or if you get lost halfway through when we're playing right now together, then I want you to stop the video. Don't just sit here and listen to me. You don't need to listen to me playing snare drum the whole time. Pause the video, go back to where it starts, all right, and try it again, all right? Go first before you think about what part you got off on. Focus just on that spot. Work on those couple measures by themselves a bunch of times. If you can count it 3 times in a row, then if you can play it 3 times in a row perfectly, then you'll be more ready for it, okay? And then go back and try to do it again. All right? Awesome. Here we go. We're going to play solo number 2 from the beginning all the way down to the end. Notice there are a bunch of repeats. We're not going to take any of the repeats. So for this video, just ignore the repeats. At the very end of the song, it says DS al fine. So that means you're going to go back to the sign. Remember that S, that little funny S with a slash through it and dots? You can find that in your music. Normally, you'd go to the bottom, go back to the S with the slash through it, the sign, and then you go to where it says fine in the music, and that's the end. Fine means end in Italian. However, for this video, we're not going to do that. We're just going to end it at the bottom of the page. But you can play it how it's written to if you would like to at home. All right, here we go. Sorry, all that talking. Solo number 2. Check out those dynamics. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and 1. Rest. Piano. Rest. Rest. Piano. Rest. 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 All right, I just got to the end of the song. Whew, did you get there with me? Man, that's tricky because it has a lot of different rhythms that it keeps kind of switching around in there. Also has a lot of different dynamics, all right? I think I messed up a teeny bit at one spot. I was trying to tap my foot the whole time, and it started to get really tired, and I got thrown off a little bit. So, hopefully, though, I didn't mess you up too much. Awesome. Guys, work on this solo. It's a great one to try and play, and just keep on practicing, all right? There won't be a video next week for snare drum only, but you can keep playing this one. Work on it for 2 weeks. Work on the regular videos on mallets, all right? Keep playing those mallets because they're important to percussion, right? All right, guys, I miss you. I hope you guys are doing really well, and have a great Memorial Day weekend, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, percussion!